My mom had an affair 18 years ago, and I am the product of it. My dad just informed me of everything and told me he won't pay for my college. Basically the title. I have no idea how to process all this, and I am completely unprepared for what lies ahead. Both my older brother and sister went to the same college. My brother graduated 2 years ago. My sister is set to graduate in 2 years. Both had their college expenses paid by our dad. Dad paid for all their college expenses, including rent, food, their cars, pocket money, you name it. My brother has a job now, his own place, lives with his fiancée, and has his life in order. My sister already has a well-paying job, and my dad still pays for almost everything for her. I got accepted into the same college, which was always the plan, and I was looking forward to talking to my parents about the next steps and asking them to help me the same way they did for my siblings. I always assumed they had money set aside for my college, just like they did for my siblings. Instead, I was met with a story about my mom's infidelity, how I am the result of her cheating, and how my dad is no longer willing to support me moving forward. Dad told me that mom had 18 years to inform me and prepare me for the future, but she obviously never did. He said it was never his place to say anything since I am not his son, and he didn't want to interfere with my mom's parenting. Apparently, my grandparents know I am not my dad's biological son, but they haven't bothered to tell me anything either. My siblings had no idea, and they are as surprised as I am because there was never a hint of anything being off. I might be naive, but I always thought I had a great relationship with my dad. We go to see sports together, we go fishing together. He tutored me when I had difficulties with math. Dad is an engineer. He taught me to drive. I never had a hint that he harbored any resentment towards me. I mean, he gave me my name and explained what my name means, and he was very proud of it. It's a story he tells from time to time. He likes to talk about stuff like that about me. My mom has never said a word about anything, and apparently, she was supposed to have the talk with me, but she never did. I feel abandoned and unprepared for what lies ahead. I am not even sure I will be able to go to college anymore. I always assumed my parents would pay for it. I have never had a job, and I am not sure what job I can even get to support myself through college. I have no idea how to apply for loans. All my mom has done is cry and apologize, but nothing substantial. She has no idea how to help me. I don't even know if I am welcome at home anymore. It's all up in the air. I feel ashamed to leave my room, and if I'm asked to move out, I don't know where to go. I don't have any savings, maybe $400 altogether. I am angry at my mom. I am confused about where I stand with my dad. There's a man out there who is my father that never wanted to have anything to do with me. I feel rejected, and I have no idea what to do to fix this situation. Anyone have any idea what to do here? Do I apologize to my dad? What do I say to him? I don't know. I've been stuck in my room these past few days, reading and browsing Reddit. I have no idea what to do. Edit. Comments are coming in faster than I can reply, but I am making a list with all the advice about financial aid, health insurance, getting my own phone plan, etc., things I hadn't even thought about before. Thank you, everyone. I will try to answer as much as I can, but there are more comments than I can handle. Most voted comments. Comment 1. You need to have a calm conversation with your mom. See if you can still live at home, or if they're kicking you out. You need to know this immediately to decide your next steps. If they're not kicking you out, that's basic decency. If they're kicking you out, talk to your siblings to see if you can crash at theirs and live with one of them. If not, crash at a friend's until you can get on your feet. If they seriously won't help you with college, and your mom won't help you either, start applying for jobs. The jobs you're going to apply for are going to suck. But if that's the only way you can pay for college and everything else, then you gotta do what you gotta do. Start applying to grocery store jobs and fast food jobs. Customers will suck, as people are very unpleasant about their food. Customers in general will suck. You can apply online. Retail jobs, especially ones with commission. This means clothing stores like Hollister, Nordstrom, Macy's, Dillard's, whatever is available. Also jobs like ones at a car dealership, but beware of commission-only jobs. If you don't sell cars at the dealership, you don't eat. Get a job that pays a base per hour plus commission if possible. If not, you're going to get paid minimum wage like a GameStop, which sucks, but it's something. Apply to your local community college. You'll definitely get in. Classes are far cheaper than a regular college, and you can get your Common Core classes out of the way there for cheaper, like History 101, Political Science, Government, English, one science course, one math, etc. It will take longer, but it's fine. The classes are easy. After you're done with those, you can get your associate's degree and transfer to a big college. I recommend this before going to the college you actually got into because it is cheaper. You will work at the same time. Get ready for lots of ramen and cheap food. OP. As for loans, do you have any credit currently? The reason I ask is that the higher your credit score, the better loan you can get. That is the easiest way to earn credit. If you only have a debit card, start building your credit. Capital One or Discover have student credit cards that start you off pretty well. You can apply for these online. Use the credit card that you apply for. Let's say max $100 per month. Pay off about $50 to $75 and leave a little bit that you owe for something called revolving credit. This will help your credit score. The first loan you're going to get is going to suck. Go to your local bank where you have your debit card or credit union and ask them about student loans. Apply for scholarships at your local community college and Google Scholarships. There are so many out there, and sometimes people don't even apply. It's free money at that point. You're going to have a busy summer, OP. Ask your siblings if they can pull together some money for your first semester at the community college. Then get one of the jobs I told you about before and start saving. If you do college slower, no one will judge you. You're paying your own way. I wish you the best of luck, OP. I'm so sorry this happened to you and that your dad did this. It's really shitty. I'm sending all my love to you. My wife was kicked out of her parents' house at 17, and she had to do a lot of this herself too, and I work and study too. Comment 2. This is all incredibly disturbing. What puzzles me is that if your father feels this way about paying for college, why did he spend money raising you? Raising a child to the age of 18 costs roughly $200,000 or more. It's strange that he feels this way and didn't walk away 18 years ago when this happened. He raised you as his son. Yet he has this bitterness he's holding against your mother over college tuition for you. Almost like it's her punishment for her betrayal. But you're the only one being truly punished and you did nothing wrong. It's just so bizarre. As for you figuring out your college financing, I recommend you go to the local community college for 2 years as they are relatively inexpensive. Then transfer to a state university. Make sure all your community college credits will transfer. I'm assuming you're in the USA. Good luck. Comment 3. Your dad has been weird about this. I understand the anger, but he's known for some time and only told you since the college issue came up. I'm guessing something must have happened because it looks like he loved and cared for you like the others, and raising a child isn't cheap. So I promise he spent thousands on you over time. Yes, he's not obligated to do anything as you're not biologically his, but he's raised you as his own your whole life, and now this? On one hand, it's good that you never experienced obvious resentment, but how this has all come about is strange. Don't apologize to him. You've done nothing wrong. But you do need a calm conversation with your mother that actually gives you answers rather than her tears. Update. Sorry for disappearing. Nothing bad happened to me. Yesterday, I managed to talk to my mom, but I chickened out halfway through what I needed to say. The good news is that I won't be kicked out or disinherited, etc. Thanks to everyone for your support. I'll call my university's financial aid office in a few hours and then move forward from there. My grandfather had a stroke a week ago, and my dad is helping my grandmother hire a live-in nurse, so he wasn't available yesterday. I'll let you know how I manage. Thanks again. Update. Sorry for not updating. My grandfather passed away yesterday morning. Nothing has happened to me, but my situation is a secondary concern right now. However, I think I'll be okay. Thanks to your incredible support and help. My sister knows everything and told me not to worry, that she's got my back and I have her support. I promise to update if there are any significant changes. For now, I need to support my grandmother. Thanks again to everyone. Update. I'm not sure if this is what you want to hear, but things are more or less returning to a normal state, considering other events. Unfortunately, my grandfather passed away earlier this week, and I'm still processing it. I managed to talk to my mom and dad, and now I know where I stand with them and my siblings. I'm not sure I would have had the courage to say what I needed to if it weren't for the amount of help and advice in the comments. I think it's safe to say that both parents love me, and what happened 2 weeks ago was an overreaction to a fight between them. It bothers me to know that I wasn't aware of my own environment, but a stranger in the comments can tell me what's going on in my life with just a few lines of text from me. Many comments were accurate about what's happening in my life. So far, I've read about 40%, I estimate, of the comments, but I've given up. There are too many to keep up with. The bottom line is that I will definitely go to college. It will be the university I've always wanted to attend, and I'll have the same experience as my siblings. The money to pay for all of this already exists. My family isn't going bankrupt as suggested. My dad just had a mental breakdown with all the issues surrounding my grandfather and his fight with my mom. Even if my dad had stuck to his decision, my grandmother let me know that my grandfather left us a sum that my siblings and I will have to split, but it's enough to cover my college expenses. What started the whole scandal was a bad timing on my part. My parents had just had a fight, and then I showed up saying, "Hey, pay for my college." My parents were talking about us, their children, and Mom said something like, "To think you wanted to leave when I came back pregnant." Or something like that. I wasn't there. This is what she told me. I guess Dad was talking about how proud he was of his children, and Mom wanted to express her gratitude for him raising me as his own, and Dad took it as the affair was the best decision I ever made, or something like that. And their fight escalated from there, and Mom told Dad something like, "What makes you think any of them are yours?" Yes, everything went downhill quickly from there. Shortly after, my dumb face showed up, and here I am. Dad and Mom have reconciled since then. Mom is still a mess, and Dad isn't handling my grandfather's death well either. I talked to my siblings, and my sister caused a storm and came here while scolding my parents on the phone. Haha. My brother was more calm, but also made his feelings clear once he got home. My grandfather's death kept things calm, I suppose, and focused attention on dealing with that. Reading the comments was an eye-opening experience. I felt useless to the outside world. Many asked how I didn't know how to apply for loans or scholarships. Well, in my defense, when you spend year after year knowing you have nothing to worry about, that your college is practically paid for, you don't have to worry about anything else. Of course, I knew that loans and other things students need to know exist, but it didn't apply to me. I went from, "I'm going to college, I can't wait," to, "You're not my child and I won't pay for your college," in less than 24 hours. Others have prepared for this. At least they knew they had to get a loan, or find a job, look for a place to live, and so on. For me, it was a sudden shift in reality. By reading the comments, I managed to make a list of various tips and tricks: what jobs are available for students, how to find a place to live, how to get a credit card, a bank account, a cell phone plan, and so on. Really good stuff that I think, even after things return to normal, will help me. My parents have been called more names than they have, and it was uncomfortable to read that, and I haven't even read all the comments. I can't imagine what else is in the comments. Waiting? Dad is very sorry, apologizing for his reaction and behavior. I understand his reaction, but I still feel hurt by it. I understand he wasn't at his best, but I can't control my feelings either. We'll be okay, and this hasn't irreparably damaged our relationship. Mom hasn't handled everything as well, but she's recovering and answered a few more questions for me. When Mom had an affair years ago and got pregnant with me, my parents started the divorce. Mom moved in with the man she had the affair with, but after a few months, that guy decided he wanted nothing to do with it. He kicked her out, and she had nowhere to go. So my grandparents took her in because she was still the mother of their grandchildren. I get a lot of criticism for this mistake. But know that in my family's culture, grandparents also call their grandchildren's nephews. Mom and Dad got back together after a lot of work. Dad took me as his own, and that's been my life since then. The man who is my biological father is no longer in the picture. Dad really didn't know who he was, and Mom hasn't heard or seen anything from him since then. She knew perfectly well that Mom was pregnant with his child. I suppose he had more important things to do, but it doesn't seem like he was about to cure world hunger. He met her in a bar, not at a fundraiser. And I don't feel the need to know more about who he is. I've thought about it the last 2 weeks, since I found out everything, and I really haven't felt the desire to know who he is, where he is, if he's still alive, if I have other siblings out there. I was advised to buy a 23andMe DNA kit. Maybe I could find him that way, but I think I'll avoid doing it specifically so I don't find him, or he doesn't find me. As far as I'm concerned, I have a mom and a dad and a brother and a sister, and that's my family. In the future, I plan to get a job and become more independent, but not in an attempt to distance myself from my family, but to feel like I wouldn't be lost in the world if my family suddenly disappeared. My mom admits that I've been spoiled much more than my siblings, and that they should have prepared me more for what's to come. I've learned where I stand with my family, and it's safe to say that I am loved and that I have options. I thought I was isolated, but my world is larger than I thought. Grandparents, siblings, my aunt, my cousins, they all have my back. I think my parents are human and make mistakes, and although this wasn't their best moment, I think I'll see it as nothing more than a moment of weakness in an otherwise wonderful relationship. Thank you.